after we just watched Chris Melling play some fabulous stuff out there against Neil Rayburn. And now it's the turn of Ian Alley. And he's going to be taking on John Chambers. I'm Tony Holgate. I stayed in the commentary box for this one. JMO has taken a quick break. He'll be back very shortly, but replacing him, none other than Nick Finn. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Tony. And a really good matchup here. John Chambers played really well in his opening game against Sean Story. Convincing win.
Well, hung the red. No, I'll be looking forward to seeing John play. I used to play against him back in the day when he was a very young professional then. Him and his brother, Rob, as well, also an ultimate pool professional. Played for many, many years for England. Two great players and great guys. Ian Alley, of course, one of the great money players. Does like the long, long distances, but been playing some very good stuff this season. Had a very memorable win against Tom Cousins when we were at Wigan.
Yeah, there was, I guess, some people could have been forgiven for asking a few questions of Ian in this format. He was just struggling a little bit over last season, but he really has adapted well this year, and the latter part of last season, this season, he's really finding some form and some momentum. Starting to see the best of Ian Alley.
Fabulous shot he just played there with allowed the side to come through that gap. Get on his red. Oh, he's made short work of these, Ian Alley. Down goes the black. And Alley is one in front. And all for because of that hung red right at the start of that frame from John Chambers.
He's a similar player to the one we just witnessed over in the YouTube stream in Craig Waddingham. It's kind of free-flowing action around the table, quick, aggressive, just bullies his way around the table. Got really nice cue action.
John Chambers said he's loving this tour. Him and his brother Rob really enjoying their pool after putting everything into the national team. Now it's just play for ourselves, have some fun. And he really is embracing it. So here comes John Chambers. Always had a big break. Didn't quite get hold of those. It's almost as if when he went to smash them, his arm went before his shoulder.
Still a reasonable split, but nothing going down. So a dry break for John gives Ian first chance at the table. It's going to be yellows.
Yellow ball's in play.
The obvious problem here, the yellow is next to the wall. It's not a problem. Get past the 8 ball and pot it. Didn't think he could get through to the potting angle, but well, this should be a fairly straightforward clearance now. I love the pace he plays at.
Quick.
Yeah, it's just easy on the eye, isn't it? It's great to watch.
Yeah, makes lovely use of the cue ball, Ian Alley. can generate a lot of power and spin. Side. You name it, Ian Alley can produce it onto a cue ball. He's going to need some now.
Yeah,
He's left himself a bit straight.
It's a bit tricky. He's looking at the gap. It's a small gap to find. Find it, he does. Or does he? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. That's come back too far.
He was okay when the cue ball started rolling, but just a half a roll too much.
Yeah, it's an extremely tough shot to judge. Try and come off this side rail and get the one that's on the bottom push. Good effort. I'm sure John Chambers will be looking to just immediately to try and get that cue ball up to the top right hand side of that table. Do it off the red that's on the rail. Or we can play the one at the top of the table as well, go that half ball. Depends which he prefers.
Attention called.
No, it's neither. Well. Went to play the pot in the middle. He's got away with it. Or has he? I mean, he can cut this in. Can Ian Alley? I thought for a second he couldn't see both yellows, but he can. Extremely tough pot. But one I'm sure John Chambers didn't want him to have. Oh, super pot. Where's the cue ball going to land? It was always going to be a little bit of lap of the gods, but surely he's not landed in this gap.
I think it's tight. He might just need to just play it with a trace aside, but I think... Yeah.
No, he's going straight at it.
Yeah.
Wow. That is incredible to land there.
What a result. So test your cue action. He's got a great action.
Oh, unbelievable.
Did not expect that miss.
After such a tough pot with that opening yellow there.
Yeah.
And then to miss this black. Well. You'd have lost several quid on that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure. John just making it a bit tough for himself.
He needs to settle.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit on the edge.
Yeah, just push that red below the bottom pocket now. That just makes these two over this side a little bit more awkward. Flip that one just below. That's okay. Travel too far, but he's going to have to do some work with that cue ball now. He would have loved that red to have sat right over the middle because he could use it as a kind of transition to get from one to the other. May still be able to.
Oh, this is brilliant.
That's
Played it with
lovely.
lots of topspin. Topspin. It was always going to do that because of where the cue ball's quite near to the rail, so it generated that little spin as it hit the top rail, pushed it forward.
Well, neither of these players are hanging about, are they? Oh, John. Is it going to drop? No.
Well.
He's left a double.
Nobody wants this frame.
Yep.
Well, Ian Alley pockets the double. He'd be relieved he got another chance of that frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Chambers will be really annoyed. And we're still here at Carl Morris against Aaron Davis, and you see Carl Morris has won 4 in a row. He was 3-0 down in that game. That looks like a fun frame to be out there watching.
I can tell you who is fuming, and that's Shane Thompson, because he's been waiting for this table. They were sat on 3-2 for about half an hour, and both of these players don't mind a tactical frame. Carl will take it to the streets if he needs to. Get dirty. But
Yeah, it's one of them. We could be returning to that on Sunday.
yeah, I told Shane, you might as well pop home and have a nap, mate. And he said my hotel's 20 minutes away, and I said, you still got time.
No, you said, when you said pop home and have a nap, you meant where he lives, back in Somerset. He's still got time. Ian Alley, explosive break.
Wow.
Frame number 3. He leads 2-0 against John Chambers.
Big cluster over on the left-hand side. Those balls coming together, 5 or 6 of them. Can go straight after it now. That works.
Yeah, he's still okay. And he's not frightened to have a go, Ian. And it was a free hit.
Yeah.
From where he was. Very much a rhythm player, Ian Alley.
Is he going to leave an angle here to try and come down and kick that yellow out, do you think, Tony? Or is he just going to resign to the double? He does have an angle, it's just whether, I mean, a full ball contact, I think he
What
couldn't
value does it do, though? Because the red is covering that corner. You're not knocking it over that bag. So I don't... Yeah. If you can disturb it and kick it out, going the other way, but not bringing it down the table.
He's kind of got the angle to do that now. But, again, I don't think he...
Here to go.
Yeah.
He's been a bit fortunate there when it's double kiss and come back, so he's still got an angle. He can still have a go, or he can play the double now.
Yeah.
Because the cue ball will hold from this double. And that's what he's choosing to do.
Just low.
Oh. Chambers, another opportunity. You've got to say, every frame, John has been at the table. He jawed that first opening red, frame 1. He missed a red down into this corner, frame 2. And this is chance number 3 in frame 3. And he's on reds again. Maybe he wants to be on yellows. Wants a little bit of angle here. Just punch the cue ball across a bit. I think he... Well, no, I don't think he is. Can screw right into the top rail. Judge by the way he's playing it.
Needed a big angle here. Just drop this in. Needs to just get the cue ball out, leaving it long.
And this will be a weight lifted off John's shoulders. Start this match should he get this 8 ball. Get it, he does. There we go, look. A wave of the arm. 2-1. And Chambers is off the mark. There you are, a D up there from Powell's on the sidelines. So we nip over the... What I'm going to say is Mary Talbot. And she just clipped the red first, and she tried to knock the yellow, and she did achieve that, but it will be ball in hand.
Emma Parker she's playing.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of Emma before on Ultimate Pool. Trying to think, our last appearance on the TV was at Daventry, I believe, in the British Open. And she's, funnily enough, she's playing the British Open champion. Anyway, as Emma goes about her business, we will travel back to the main arena just to watch John Chambers have a dry break.
Just coming off of that break a little bit, and just seems to be losing the timing. He's going to need to make balls off the break. He's going to have his work cut out if he keeps going dry, so he needs to work out what to do. I think he's trying to get too much power into it, Tony. There's so many players today that I've seen just using timing, taking the pace off.
Can't beat a big smash break, that's for me. Yeah, even Chris had a bit of a struggle in the previous match. 2 dry breaks in a row, but then he changed his break slightly and then started to get some success, making 2s and 3s off the break then. And obviously if Chris Melling starts doing that to you, you know what's happening. Ian just wants to sit in that gap there so he can just get through to the yellow that's nearest the bag. Flick it with a bit of right hand side here just to steer the cue ball through that gap and go beyond. I was going to say go beyond the other yellow, but he took it with him, and that's not great.
No.
But the only saving grace here is you can see that yellow into the bottom right, and he does have, going to be very tough, but he does have the angle to screw up the table and into these 2 balls that are stuck together. He's going to have to try and pinch it maybe just before the middle bag with a load aside.
He's tried to land it. He's tried to come.
Well, all I can say is he must go off the red in the other middle, because he would never be that short trying to play to get on it. I think he's already seen this shot off the red in the left hand centre.
John Chambers with another chance. Work to do
Every
there.
frame.
Yeah.
And every frame he's been on reds. So if Mark Shepherd was here now, he'd be able to tell us if anybody's played the entire match with the same colour. He'd know that stat. If you're watching, Mark, good luck in Las Vegas. I know you're out there playing poker. Hope you win. You can come and buy us a couple of beers when you come back.
His annual pilgrimage. It's a little bit earlier this year. He'd nominated for the World Series, but I don't think the World Series actually starts. I might be wrong. I haven't kept in touch with it this year, but I always thought it kind of started a little bit later than this. It may have just gone out. Certainly the main events, not for a couple of weeks, but he tends to go out and play a lot of side events. So.
It goes out a year early.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a hotbed of pool of poker this time of year. It's ridiculous. Thousands of players go out there, and every casino's got.
Well, you say somebody have
events.
a poker face. Mark Shepherd is the man.
Yeah.
But John Chambers is trying to be the man here and get himself level in this match.
He's got a couple of choices with the 8. He could just park the cue ball where it is. He could screw back and take the 8 ball into the right centre, which probably would just get him away from the cushion a little bit more.
Yeah, I just think you make sure of the pot first.
Yeah.
I think if you start to dig deep, you can start jawing the ball.
Yeah.
Ian looking beyond. What Ian could have done it if he could have looked on the big screen up at the top of that arena. He wouldn't have had to look round the back of Chambers, but it is 2-all. And John Boy is back in the match. And there we have a overhead view of our wonderful arena here in Bolton. Really has been a great opening day today. Still, we have more to come.
I've only got the top view, but that looks a lot like Del Redmond in the
It is.
in the bottom of the shot there.
We were talking about that a while ago, yeah.
What a great player he is.
Yep.
Super player. Been around for years.
Yeah, he's on the Challenger Tour. Tier 1, of course.
Yeah, he's fabulous. I love watching
All
Del.
the big boys are on there. All trying to chase these guys. Get in amongst the pros. It's a bit of a bloodbath at tier 1 as well, I have to say.
Drive for me in. John Chambers comes to the table. It's not horrible, this. It's once he takes this red to middle, I mean, you can see the yellow. I mean, there's a gap between red and 8.
You could be careful to push the black ball down to the bottom rail here, so that it really softly. That's not great.
Needed a full ball contact. Thought he took a bit of a risk there. It's not paid off.
Well, nothing else he could do there, John Chambers.
Yeah, just trying to tie a couple of balls up and make it difficult for Ian. Hasn't done it though.
And that was a bit
Yeah.
weak.
Shorter pace.
Ian was trying to get behind that red below the black there, jam the cue ball and make it so John couldn't see anything, but as you can see, he's got a clear view of a couple of yellows. Well, I think he's all in now, whatever he's going to attempt.
100%.
Oh, my word, he's on this yellow as well.
Wow, what you do with the 8 ball?
I think you'll worry about the yellow first if I'm John.
Needs a touch of magic here.
Magic or fortune. Oh, he's gone off the red. What a great shot from John Chambers. Ouch. Now what? Right then. Black ball. Slide it off the red that's next to it into the left-hand cushion and back into the right-hand middle.
Does it pass red into the right-hand middle?
Surely can't, you can't get a double in the corner. Surely not. No, he can. Cue ball's going to be in the way. The shot really there was to come off the side of the red into that cushion, back into that centre pocket. But that would have been probably the most theatrical finish, a ridiculous circus pots that I've seen this season if he'd have got that. And that was just one side of the story. The next yellow was even more impressive. But after all that, Ian Alley is now at the table with not a whole lot of work to do. However, he would have loved to get rid of those two reds, both of them at the top of the table together. So he's going to have to go back up again. Does not want to be straight.
A trace of angle to work with, but would have liked quite a bit more.
Brilliantly played there at pace.
Wasn't it ever? Carl Morris has now won 5 in a row. He's 5-3 up against Aaron Davis.
Astonishing.
Darryl Whitworth 6-1 against Eddie Barker. We watched Darryl play earlier, played really well. And,
Yeah, he did.
He's still there. Phil Parkin and Rob Warren, that's over on YouTube. They're locked up at 6 each. Well worth a watch, that one as well. I watched a bit of that game earlier. Very entertaining. Simon Webb across on that stream. Oh, Ian Alley.
And you saw it just catch it just caught the cushion. And John Chambers has been presented with a very, very early Christmas present. Well, well, well. Just catches the cushion. We got it there, Ian Ali.
So there we are.
Here is Houdini.
Yeah. At the table now to win his 6th frame in a row. And extend his lead by 3.
Taking his time there with queuing that one. I thought it was the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz then. He'd run out of oil. But looking very assured is Carl Morris. This will be 6 in a row should he make this black ball. Incredible fight back from 3-0 down. No, you wouldn't think anything less. A man who's won a world title, was way back in 1998, should I say, not 88. But anyway, we shall rejoin our match, our featured match, Ian Ali, John Chambers, as John breaks off in frame number 6, having been gifted the last one. No easy starter, so it's this cut red into the centre. Yeah, it's not going to come easy, John. So Ali with choice.
I know John's a naturally very attacking player, but was there not a bit of value in just nudging him behind that red that he took on and letting Ian have a pop at them?
Yeah, John really hates safeties.
Yeah.
You know, when we used to play, I'd done the same as John. I'll be totally honest, and I'd have probably missed it the same as John as well. And then somebody would have said, "Why didn't you play safe?" Because I can't play safe. I was terrible at it. I know the shots, but the execution of slow rolls and delicate things are just not for me.
Leave that to Brewer, eh? On that YouTube stream, Rob Warren's gone on the hill 7-6 against Phil Parkin.
Always going to be a close run battle with those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good match to watch. I'm sure Simon's been enjoying it.
Last game up on this table after the conclusion of this is Tom Jones against Rab McCulloch.
Rab, of course, putting out Declan Brennan earlier today. So Tom Jones going to try and get revenge for his buddy. Nice pot there from John. I'm looking at black ball and it must go in the corner.
I think he's going to dislodge it now, isn't he? He's going to glance it on the way up to the yellow.
Yeah. I was thinking it's all the time I'm looking at it thinking that must go because I thought he'd have moved it earlier, but he's moved it now, and now it is open. Top spin off the 2 rails.
Tester.
Well, he's already missed a ball down in this rail. Mr. Red, frame 2. He's now Mr. Black in frame 6. Not an easy shot. They played it quite pacey as well.
Laughs at it, but I don't find too much humour in that one.
No, and it's to make the match 3-3. Ian Alley can afford a smile as well. I think they're having a bit of fun out there, these two.
Yeah, sure, been playing very good spirits.
And down goes the Black, and Ian Alley does make it 3 each. And there you see laughter and fun. Well, there we are. This is the game that's on YouTube. Phil Parkin, Rob Warren.
Yeah, Phil's just broken and gone in off. Rob's going to have ball in hand.
I think that's Phil Parkin. Is it?
No, is it? Oh, it might.
They both wear the same coloured shirt.
I know, that's the problem.
I think that's Phil Parkin.
No, that's Rob. They're both a similar stature as well, to be honest, so it's hard to tell.
That's Phil Parkin. The power's on the back there. There you go.
Good spot.
1-0 to me. We think he's going to take reds. As we leave that, we're Parkin in the driving seat there against Rob Warren. And now it's Ian Alley. That's a good break. Oh, he'd want to be able to see a red.
I'm just thinking the same thing. He's not on a red at all. And he'd love to see one.
Well, he has to take the yellows. There's no choice in the matter.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Now then.
Well, well, well. We've seen a couple of these tonight in different matches where the players made a ball off the break and then missed the opening ball.
Actually, the yellows aren't too bad now.
I think Neil Raybone did against Chris Melling and cost him. I don't know if that's the one that cost him the match, but it cost him very late on a very important frame.
Because now that yellow's over the left centre, he can use that just to run down on the short side of this one. It won't go to bottom left and play it to bottom right. A little bit close to his work.
You're right, just get the cue up in here a bit. He's just called a foul on himself, is he? Yep. Very sporty there, well. You'd expect it because they are very sporty, these players, but he's just, what he's done there, he's played like a little push shot there with the cue ball and called the foul on himself.
That's a big call as well, because they're quite hard to feel, aren't they? They're not always obvious.
He knew he'd done it straight away.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really see it from our position. We couldn't see it.
Yeah.
But like I say, all the professionals are professional in that manner and sporting. The referee will say he saw it.
Yeah.
He'd have liked a bit bigger nudge there with Ian Alley. I think John is there looking at the big screen to see if he can pass into that bottom corner.
Yeah, it's bad news. He definitely can. He's got a nice angle to just come up the short side. It's not ideal.
Well, he can make the part. It's getting the cue ball out of that gap. I think he's going to have to come forwards with it. So left-hand side rail, bottom cushion and round. See, I didn't want to come this way. It was me because you had a land square on it. I think you had to come to the bottom of the table and back round the back of it, which is obviously a trickier Tarris shot because you put a lot of side on the cue ball.
And again, cutting this in and trying to get on the 8 ball. A lot can go wrong.
Oh,
and does.
Makes the pot, but we can see half of it. If those two yellows were where they are at the top of the table, he'd probably play a double, so he's going to try and come down and you think you can bend it enough? I thought you'd have to get the cue up a little bit higher to get around that one.
Surely.
He's come off the top rail.
Top position.
Well, that was a good old leathering. He's given that black ball. Yeah, he's not happy at all. But this match has been like it. We've had some wonderful shots played, but we've also seen quite a lot of errors from both players. But it has made it a fascinating watch though as well, Nick.
That was well controlled. Judged the pace well. Landed plumb. All the hard work done. Yeah, for sure. Been a really interesting match so far.
It's just so hard to call. You can't say, well, obviously the score's 3-3, but nobody's dominated it. No one's looked better than the other, really. They're sharing.
Park and Warren still tied up at 7 each.
You didn't get them then?
No result there yet, so hopefully we can fly across that game and just see the status.
And down goes the black, and John Chambers edges in front of Ian Alley. And we will pop over. And there we see the state of play. I think.
And now Parkin's parked in his chair.
Yeah. Rob Warren. Well. Ooh.
This is fiddly.
It's a little dinky one into the middle. It's very tight. Or does he try to into the top corner? I think I'll go in the middle because the cue ball's safer if you do miss. What a shot there from Rob Warren at 7-all. Wow. I'd have been too scared to take that on. Oh my word. Done Rob Warren. 8-7. What a match that must have been. And that is some last ball he's potted there to win that.
Darryl Whitworth 7-1 against Eddie Barker.
That's incredible. He had a big win earlier today against Stevie Dempsey, didn't he? Oh, straight into the corner there for John Chambers. And it's a good break as well. Yeah, I'll be annoyed by that one to screw straight in. So Ian Alley with what you'd like to think would be a winning visit to the table, and we're going level once again at 4 each. I think the biggest lead, I think Ian Alley went 2-0 up, didn't he, at the start?
Yep.
And then since then, John got back to 2 each, and it's been toing and froing.
Oh.
Ow.
Wow-wee.
Just look at Ian Alley's face there after that shot. I thought he'd get through. He's playing a bit aside there to try and swing it. Yeah, he's thrown the cue ball into the yellow, clipped it. So it's ball in hand for John Chambers. As he's stretching over the table, you just see him knocking everything in the middle. He's going to try and kick his bad ball out here on this shot. Oh, he's not. Oh. He had to flush that banging full ball, and then he would have left himself straight on the other one in the middle, and he's not done it.
That was 8 frames on the bounce for Carl Morris.
Yeah.
He's won that match 8 frames to 3, having been 3-0 down.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Welcome to our viewers from YouTube as well, and across to watch this game. Great to have you on board. This is the main arena table. A match, very intriguing match actually, between Ian Alley and John Chambers strewn with errors, but it's kept it really interesting.
Well, he's had 2 goes now to move that yellow off the rail and failed with both of them. Go number 3, he's now moved it, but he's moved it into a worse place than where it was before. So it's back to the drawing board here for Chambers.
I think he's just got to run up to the yellow, isn't he?
No, he's going to go for this. Double into the top corner.
Well, you said he's attacking, but I mean, surely that's suicidal, isn't it? I mean,
Have to go for it. You can't. If he just rolls into that and leaves it stuck to that red, the next shot Ian Alley plays is clipped off the red over the bag. Cue ball's behind the black at the top of the table,
Yeah.
and he couldn't win the frame. He had to go for it.
yeah,
But it keeps it all
I'd
level
take the
anyway.
point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he tried to cross double it. What happened is the cue ball got in the way of the yellow, so it's almost like, you know, it's double kicked it. But anyway, black's in. Ian Alley back to his chair. It's 4-all. Nothing to separate these 2 gentlemen. John having a chat with his coach. And a quick scoot back to Mary Talbot and Emma Parker. As we see Mary, the British Open champion, is about to knock the yellow in. She's left herself a black into the middle, and she is leading 4-0. This is for 5-0 to the British Open champion. Trying to add to that title. And down it goes. Looks like she's playing very well indeed, Mary Talbot. As we come back to Ian Alley with a pretty good break, let's say. That cluster at the bottom of the table, that's where things are going to become problematic. But if ever a match was going to go to the wire, it's this one. Might even go 6 red. It just feels that way. About 6 red, and they both have the exact same time.
It's not come out enough.
He's just got enough. If he can land above it, straight above it, he can cut it in, but he's going to have to play that last ball.
A bit past below the yellows to go into this left corner, perhaps. Once this red's out the way.
Even if it did, it'd be very hard to get there. Yeah, that's okay. So he's above it now. I thought he might have had to play it last, but this is quite tricky now, just to get onto this last red. Goes around the back of these yellows. Cuts in the middle.
Skinny cut.
Made it.
Oh, how's your
What's
luck?
this yellow doing?
Oh,
No, he's
just
okay.
okay.
And Ingo, oh, he's gone in off. Oh my word! I was just about to say Ingo's a black, and Ian Alley goes 5-4 up, but it's 5-4. John Chambers, incredible there. He's cannon the cue ball into the yellow. Well, John Chambers didn't even have to move from his seat. Let's have another look at this. Ian thought he was going to screw straight into that yellow and it would hold the cue ball, but no, down it goes. Quite incredible stuff. It's had it all this match.
Just a shade under 15 minutes left on the clock. Which means in just under 5 minutes, we'll be on the 15-second shot clock. John Chambers finds a ball. Got an opener on reds, middle. Don't think he's got one on yellow. Well, may have one on yellows, but I think reds are the option anyway. So his developing shots haven't quite been there for him so far, but he's going to have to play another one now. Play this red. Doesn't quite have the right angle, so he's going to come back for it. Wanted to play the red to bottom left and kick into the other one that's on the cushion, but I'm going to come back for it now, try and find a better angle. What you doing, John?
Well,
he's putting all his eggs in one basket here. He's going to leave that developing shot till last, and this is now fraught with danger. He's left a good angle.
well, if you can get the cue ball into that right-hand side rail and come off, so you have to play with a bit of side, come off that side rail and kick into the red and push it towards the left-hand corner. So this is about judgment with how much side to put on it. And there you see, caught the red on the way through. Had to get clean past it, off the cushion, and then nudge it towards the bag. And that is, well,
always dangerous, though. He'd leave that developing shot so late in the break.
Well, I don't think he had any choice the way he went round him, but yeah, it's not ideal. John just, all he could do is knock his red into the open and try and leave it as awkward as he could. For Ian, this is a shot to nothing. He can take this on without any worry of it missing. He's not going to leave anything for John Chambers, which he hasn't. He can get off two cushions here and get into the red. So if he goes off the side cushion, bottom cushion, and I know what John will be thinking. He'll be thinking, can I get there and really skim the top of that red and cut it back into that corner? Oh, he's tried to come through the gap. Went through the gap with a bit of side. Well, it's a decent effort. But you never really know what's going to happen with this match. Now, even with finishes like this, you'd say, if this was like for 20 grand and Ian Alley's at the table in a money match, this is gone. But it's just been a quite bizarre encounter. Yeah, that's really nice now. Perfect position. Plays this yellow into the middle, rubs into the other yellow above it, pushes it away from that black ball. And Ian Alley is about to level the match up yet again. We're heading into the last 10 minutes of this match. There's going to be a nail biter. Screwing all the way back up the table. Now then.
Is it a slow down?
It has done. Oof. It went a roll too far for my liking there. He's got to play the double now in the middle. But it'll screw the cue ball into the side rail and get it back safe.
He's not.
No, he's not. He's got it too hard. Well, well, well. The last two frames, Ian Alley. It's got to be hurting. They should have been his. We hear the bell. Oh, how's your form? We hear the bell, that signals it's now 15 seconds a shot. John Chambers, now he's missed at least 2 balls in his bag. But not this time.
Yeah, heart of the pocket.
Chambers now 6-4 up, moves 2 in front. That's the first time we've had a player more than a frame ahead since Ali led 2-0 at the start.
Which takes you back to the last frame where Ian's gone in off the 8 ball. That's
and there as well.
Yeah.
Landing where he did.
So, with the conclusion of that Carl Morris match against Aaron Davis, it's freed up the table and is now accommodated by Shane Thompson and Matt Cook.
Been waiting a little while, Shane. I'm sure he enjoyed that.
Oh, he was fuming out there when I saw him earlier. It's not like Shane to have a moan though. Very rare.
Indeed. Ali slams the break. Pots 2 balls. With his eyes dart round the table. Looking to see what the plan is. He's had a bit of a rough couple of frames. The last 2. As the clock ticks down.
Dab into this one, into the 8 ball. I thought he was going to maybe try and... Doesn't need to develop that yellow, does it? Passes the 8 ball looking at the overhead.
It does. It's all about position onto that yellow that's near the rail. He needs to leave himself an angle where he can pot it. If you screw the cue ball up off the rail into the red, doing it now while he's on it, I don't blame him either. Oh, he's played it the other way. Nice. This now goes cue ball off 2 rails around the back of the yellow.
When he plays like this, it makes you wonder how he ever misses. It's just brilliant when he's in full flow.
He's hanging on in there, Ian Ali. Very nicely done from the fave. Mary Talbot. 5 to the good, playing Emma Parker, and plays a very, very nice safety there.
Mary from a snooker background, she's come across this season to focus on English 8 ball. Be a very good snooker player. See, this is the table next to that Shane Thompson game. You see Shane on the left hand side of the screen.
That's going to be ball in hand for Mary. As Emma calls the foul on herself, she said, clip the yellow on the way through. Those ladies' matches, I think, are races to 7.
Yeah, they are.
Chambers with an absolutely golden chance to get on the hill. Just look at these reds.
Yeah, he won't get a better chance than this.
It's one of those sort of finishes you look at and you think, if the referee said you can place the balls where you want with your hands, all 8 of them, where you put them.
It literally has nothing to do with the cue ball.
No. I know somebody be shouting at the TV now saying, well, I put them all over the pockets, but this is as good as.
Yeah.
Two balls for Chambers. Make that 1 ball. This black for 7-5. He'll be on the hill. Just less than 7 minutes left on the clock. And in it goes.
What a great time to get that break, to find that break and that clearance. to open up like that. Get on the hill.
That was the one. John looking very composed, sat there. And on the other side of the coin, Ian Alley still just a slight shake of head. He'd just be wondering about that in off of black is going through his mind now, and the one, the black that he landed badly on the frame after. It's all like a horror show video played over and over again in your mind.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
Somebody changed the tape.
Could be entirely wrong, and I apologise if I am, but I've got a feeling that might be Ian Alley's wife in the background there with the glasses.
Oh, I hope you're wrong.
Maybe wrong. As I say,
It wouldn't be the first time.
Definitely looks similar to that.
Don't tell me you're going stalking now, trying to find out who it is. Put that phone down. Well, what a break from Ian Alley. Well, this frame should be Ian's. Nice cue ball again.
Yeah, it was all about that shot, but lovely. Just cruise control. Is it too late? Is it too little too late?
No, it's not too late by a long shout. Plenty of time on the clock. These frames at the moment are taking a minute and a bit.
Yeah, I don't mean in terms of clock time. I mean, it's all in John Chambers' hands now, isn't it?
Yep, but he's put him under pressure.
Yeah, ask the question. That's all he could do. What John would give the same break as he had in the last frame. Tear your arm off. Tear your arm off just to make a ball, to be honest. Have the cue ball on the table.
And this is it. John's got the break. Ian can only watch and hope that it goes dry or the cue ball disappears down into a pocket. And he has been in off the break tonight, John. Straight screw into the corner with one of them. Staring at the pack. As referee Richard Rhodes hands John Chambers the cue ball. What will John get? He's given him an almighty crunch. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be dry.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, it all depends on the starting ball. That cue ball's gone to the bottom of the table. He can cut the red in the corner. Probably his easiest option, but reds are not gimmies. However,
I'm going to call it.
They're better than 50-50, certainly.
I'm going to call it. I'm going to the hill.
Oh, that's a brave shout. Come on, Nick.
No, I just fancying to get these.
He certainly
just somehow like flicks a switch. I mean, all that mess earlier on.
Well, tell you
in
what,
off and everything else, he just flicks a switch.
But look at the time. We've got loads of time left.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be a really bad tactical frame for it to go to 6 red now. So one of these guys is going to win the match, and they're going to win it 8-7, because like you said, Nick, this is going to go to Hill.
Oh,
or is it?
No way. No way.
You called it.
No way. That's crazy.
And it failed.
That's a crazy miss.
That's unreal. Absolutely
I mean,
unreal.
I know he's trying to nick the pocket and try and hold for a straighter 8 ball, but why?
I thought for a minute there John might try and kick that yellow out. It's on the side rail. John Chambers has the balls
Nice
here
angle now
to
to
win
land.
the match.
Yeah, they're all there now. It's just about this shot.
Yeah, I'd like to go up there now. John's not.
No, he's not.
John's got his plan. I think John's saving it till...
Yeah.
Whoa.
Save it to last, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll pot this yellow he's closest to now.
It's a pretty good ball to get on the 8, so why not?
So he's just wants to screw back a little bit here. Not very far. Wants to leave the angle just to roll the cue ball up. There we are. This is just a plain roll up the table. Yellow into the centre. Wants to get right behind the red at the the yellow at the top. Gone colourblind all of a sudden.
Ooh, now then.
Well, he's down quite quickly. He's not hanging about.
He's going to have to run
He's
into
going
it,
to have to
isn't
come twice down the table.
he? He's missed it. He's
Oh
missed
my
it.
word. What sort of drama are we having?
Well, John Chambers
Well,
won't
I'll tell
like
you,
me.
that has brought 6 red into the equation because
has.
how long it's taken to win this frame.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy match this has been.
John Chambers won't thank me, but as a neutral, I'm glad it's gone to Hill because this game's had everything. It really has. So why
Well,
not? It deserved the decider, didn't it?
I think there it's when John could have got up to that yellow at the top earlier, I think he probably now regrets it. But anyway, yeah, we're there. We are down to 1 frame sudden death. Or we are going to a 6 red shootout if this frame takes longer than 2.5 minutes, but you wouldn't fancy it the way these two have been playing. Customary handshake. But it's Ian Alley now that has the guns to do it. It's him at the table. And he's going to fire from the hip with this final break-off of this match.
I knew he wouldn't hold back anything from that break. Given it.
Oh, and he's gone dry. But this isn't easy. I've only got a very quick glance, but I don't think it's easy.
The reds aren't too bad, are they? Does that red pass the top?
If the red passes a yellow at the top, then he has a real chance, but...
I don't think it does, otherwise he'd be down on it.
Listen, you've got to be aware of that clock. He's under 2 minutes.
Yeah,
It's going yellows.
yeah. So that red clearly doesn't go.
Are we going to see a buzzer beater?
Yes, he's not bad for time, but oh, it's all about this shot, isn't it? All about this shot. Pot and develop.
Great part. Not developed. Uh-oh. He's got to come... Ooh.
Come back and flick the red away. Oh,
played it off
play
it.
off.
Off the yellow.
That's okay.
He's played that well.
That's okay.
Chambers now in prime position. Just over a minute left on the clock. 3 balls to knock in, and he does have the time now. This, screw the cue ball back. All the balls in the same pocket. He's looking at the middle. I think he's still screwed back and play it in that corner. And he will. This black for John Chambers to get over the line in what has been a fascinating encounter. And down it goes. John Chambers defeats Ian Alley 8 frames to 7. Ian will look back at a couple of missed chances and then in off the black. But it is John Chambers who will progress.